Good morning. This is going to be the Taurus reading. I would like to say that if you did not check out my past lives video that I made yesterday morning, I believe it was, all the days are starting to feel the same. A lot of messages came out for Tauruses, so definitely do check it out. Do check out my Earth Signs runes reading that I did yesterday. Once again, lots of messages came out for Tauruses. Taurus seems to be the theme this week. It's that whole earthy, grounding energy that I'm really sensing, I'm really picking up on, and that is Taurus. And basically a lot of the messages that came out in the past lives readings reading had to do with being a goddess, being a god. It was that whole Athena energy that I picked up on. So definitely do check that out. If you would like to have a paid personal reading, you have two options. I can either send you the video and the cards, or we can chat. We can video chat, and you get about 30 minutes of my time. We can talk. You know, I can pull cards. It's your time. You can use it however you want to use it. And those are $40. If you would like to make an energy donation, I'll include the same PayPal email address and Cash App handle that you can use either one of those to do that with. Also, I'm thinking about doing a live reading where I give people a choice of a card, and I'm probably going to do that on my Facebook page, and I have the link on my channel, so do check it out. Check out Neptune's Daughter on Instagram and on Facebook. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And we have the Six of Cups. And basically the energy that I'm getting with this is do not base your worth on materialism. I have said this before. I know most of the time, especially Taurus females, love pretty things. I love pretty things too, but I know Taurus females are notorious for this. Do not base your self-worth on you know, what you have, your job, what you do for a living, you know, because those are just temporary things. And we are not our bodies. We are not our physical circumstances whatsoever. We are our souls. So whatever you believe to be true inwardly will reflect outwardly. And so with that being said, you can have all the material goods that you want, but if you are not satisfied on a soul level, that will never be enough. And that is the message that's coming up right now. Yes, it's, you know, we can manifest more wealth in our lives, and you know, that's what, you know, a lot of people are focused on. But do make sure you know what really truly makes you happy on a soul level, because to clarify that card, we have Forest Breathe. And so, sorry, my hands are still hurting. Been dealing with ascension symptoms. So basically the energy that I'm getting with this to clarify that Six of Coins is, do find, you know, your sanctuary in nature. Find things every day that make you happy. Do breathe. Take time to smell the roses. Take some time off from work and really connect to your inner knowledge. That is the message that I'm getting with this card. Connect to your inner knowledge. And you cannot go wrong with your inner knowledge, because it will never mislead you. Because that is the core, that is the source of who you really are. We have the Nine of Staffs, which is the same as the Nine of Wands. And so this is the defensive card. And I have said this before. I really am trying to live more simply. I know a lot of people are trying to gain more wealth. They're trying to own more stuff and invest and do this and that. I really just want to simplify my life so that I have more time to enjoy the little things. Because the more that you own, the more you have to defend. The more you have to work to hold on to. And I have said before that attachments are what cause all the suffering. This is what Buddha said. I've quoted him. And so whenever you are dependent or attached to anything or anyone or any set of circumstances, and those things are stripped away from you, then you're unhappy. So that's why it's best to get back to your core values and that inner knowledge, so that you have a firm foundation that, you know, no matter what happens, no matter what kind of shitstorm happens, you're prepared for it. You know, here in Indiana, we've had all this rain. The farmers haven't been able to get the crops out, and the ones that have, I mean, the fields are flooded. I mean, the crops are just pretty much ruined this year. Usually, you know, we're knee-high by July, and here July's around the corner, and a lot of the corn isn't even planted. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's sad. And think about those farmers. You know, but this is not their first rodeo. I'm sure that they've had crops like this before. But the thing is, it's all about learning how to dance in the rain. And really learning how to roll with the punches, because, first of all, like I said, you are more than your physical 3D circumstances anyway. So you have to be prepared. You know, what if, you know, everything that you owned was stripped away from you today for one reason or another? Would you still be happy? Would you be happy to be alive? Would you find reasons to be grateful? Because you are still a soul, first and foremost. You know, I had to face, you know, my fear of death. What if my physical body died? You know what? I would continue to be. I would just become something else. And so you have to really look at the long view. We have the Judgment card to clarify that defensive card. And so basically, this is that whole energy of human beings want to label and understand everything. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I said, I have my own views and my own thoughts about mental illness. There are people out there, you know, who are just walking around the streets talking to themselves. You know, they're homeless. You know, they've pulled away from any type of family or friends. They are just isolated themselves. And, you know, we want to put a label on them. We want to find something wrong with them so that we understand it. You know, same thing with kids. Let's understand this. We want to put a label on it. Well, it's my theory that these people are just more connected to the spirit realm than we are. But see, we're so used to being conformist and conforming to society, and we're supposed to live a certain way, that if someone lives outside that box, we want to judge it as, you know, something's wrong with them. You shouldn't be living this way. I know we had this homeless gentleman. He was a vet, and he was living under the bridge, and come wintertime, you know, the shelter would come pick him up, be like, man, you can't stay out here. It's too cold. It's Indiana. We have cold winters. And he, you know, he would stand there for a day or two, and he'd find his way back under the bridge, because he didn't want to be in a shelter around those people. He was happy living under the bridge. So why can't we just let people be? Why do we need to understand this? And so that's the energy I'm getting with this card, is that stop trying to fit everything into a box. Stop trying to label it. Stop trying to figure out, is this good or is this bad? You know what? Just practice being for a while. And stop thinking so much. That message just came up, because that thinking so much causes this anxiety that you're having. This worry. Maybe you're worried about how you're going to pay your bills. It's just money. We can regenerate more money whenever we want to. Money is an energy. All you have to do is focus your intentions on it. And tell yourself you're worthy to receive it, and that the universe always has your back. We have the Knight of Swords. And once again, there's a certain amount of defensiveness in this card. And I feel like, you know, possibly you feel like maybe people are maybe working against you. These are physical obstacles that you are seeing. But these things, the message that's coming through is whatever's happening right now is happening to teach you to have more faith. And so stop resisting your physical circumstances. You know what? Just sometimes when your back's against the wall, all you can do is be like, you know what? It is what it is. Whatever happens at this point just happens. You know I can't lose anything that is mine by divine right, or it'll be replaced, restored to me with something even better. So that is the attitude that you need to have. And this, you know, all comes from those attachments that you have to things and to people. There's not so much romance in this reading as a lot of financial issues. That is what I'm getting with this, because literally, like, no love cards came out at all. Like, there's no cups. We have the Watchtower of the West, Autumn. And when I get this card, I always see these leaves or whatever to symbolize change. So I do feel like changes are coming in. What kind of changes depend on you? What kind of reality do you want to create? You have all the power. Tell yourself better stories and believe them. This is the key to manifesting and to getting things from the universe. And don't be afraid to ask. Set your, you know, put your order in and believe it. And then these changes can come in. And I do feel very strongly like these are positive changes, but it all comes from and stems from you changing your mindset from one of material gain right now to the things that really matter. Family, friends, camping trips. I mean, I don't know why camping trip just came up for somebody. Camping trips. If you've been thinking about taking a camping trip, take a weekend off and go camping. Really connect. Spend some time outdoors meditating. That message just came up. And we have the Seven of Coins, and this is that juggling. And this is the stressed out card in the deck. This has to do with having too many responsibilities. And so the message that's coming up is, you know what? Sometimes you just have to prioritize and let some things go. You know, learn to say no. You don't have to always volunteer to do things for other people. Make yourself the prime focus right now. And cut some things out of your life that are unnecessary. Do simplify. Simplify is the message that I'm getting, so that you can actually get out of this energy here, because this is that people-pleasing disease, you know, and that inability to say no and to set healthy boundaries. You can never go wrong by putting yourself first. And so if you're tired, or if you don't feel good, or you know what, if you just don't want to, say no. Say no to people. And these can be family members too. Family members can be very taxing on our energy. And a lot of times they're the hardest ones to have boundaries with, because we see the message that's coming through with this is that you see love as doing. Love is not a verb. Verb is a state of being. And you can love somebody without having to do anything whatsoever to earn their love back. In fact, that is a codependent relationship. That is enabling. You know, and so don't ever put someone else's needs ahead of your own. That message is coming through with this card here. We have Healer of the Ages. And so basically I'm getting that whole, possibly some of you, I'm feeling like for a group of you, maybe you didn't have a lot growing up. Or maybe you were picked on and teased, and then when you got to be older, you know, for whatever reason, I'm even sensing that some of you might have struggled with eating disorders. I know I did. Just because you didn't feel good enough. And that is some of this materialism too, is wanting to have enough to prove to people that you're good enough. Really having a lot to prove. So really do check your intentions, and really do make sure that you're not just trying to get attention and approval from others. And really take a look at where this energy has came from. Because like I said, I am sensing, you know, possibly, you know, like eating disorders for some. I know I'm almost 50 this year, and I still struggle with an eating disorder. It still rears its ugly head sometimes. I've been wanting to do videos with my laptop, but I'm like, no, I look too fat. So this is, you know, something I'm working on right now. Trust me, I'm working on it. But you have to really track this back to the source of where it came from, this original source of insecurity. And a lot of times it's a misunderstanding, or it was how you perceived something back then. But if you look at it a different way now with fresh eyes, as you're like standing back looking in instead of being inside the situation, you'll see that it was all in your perception and your view of the circumstances at hand. So do flip them around. We have the Ace of Swords. So what I'm getting with this, that's a beautiful energy. Okay, we're just going to use our sword now for like grapes. So it's like, you know, you have graduated from this defensive mode, like say this defensive, to a new cycle where now you use your sword to, like, you know, cut cheese and cut grapes off the vine, because you know what, you're enjoying life now, and you're not so focused on material stuff anymore, because you realize that those things do not validate you. They do not determine your worth. And once again, this is something that you need to look at, and I feel like it's something from childhood, something that happened that possibly really distorted your views of yourself. And I feel like you are somebody who comes across as very confident, but you really have a lot more insecurities than you let on, and you handle them in different ways. And I know some of us tend to use retail. I'm one of those people. We all have our vices that we're dealing with, you know, and some of you might be dealing with alcoholism. That's coming up too, I feel like, with the grapes. But you are going to be moving into new energy. I'm feeling that very strongly, and that is this Ace of Swords, where you really understand what truly matters. And because to clarify that card, we have happiness is my birthright. And so you have to understand how worthy you are. And if you are the type of person who, I feel like for some of you, tend to be negative, and you might even start off as being positive, and then when you don't see things kind of going your way, you're like, you know what, it's almost like that brat energy, like, you know what, it wasn't going to work out anyway, I don't even give a damn about it, fuck it. And I know I tend to do that, and the message that came through from Spirit is, when you do that, when you don't honor how you truly feel, and you put on fronts, even for the universe, like, I don't care about it anyway, who cares? That is the signal that you're sending out. That is the energetic signal that you're sending out. So if you do care, honor those feelings and stop fronting, you know, and especially don't front for the universe. That message is coming up, because you know what? You are worthy of happiness, and it is going to come to you. We have the Hangman, and that is that energy I was talking about with sending out mixed signals. I know I've been very conscious lately of the energetics, intentions and signals I've been sending out into the universe. You know, I got my feelings hurt the other day, and I was like, you know what? You hurt my feelings or you reject me, I'm going to make you feel the same way. So you know what? I'm just going to ignore you for a while. And so my spiritual guidance was, okay, what kind of signal are you sending out when you act like you don't care? Well, she must not care, so, you know, we're not going to deliver this to her, because evidently she doesn't want it. So I turned it around, and I turned around my intention to be. And understand, you don't have to tell anybody this. This is just a signal you send out into the universe. So I switched around, and I was like, you know what? I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not placing blame on anybody, because nobody can make me feel one way or another. I am responsible for my own feelings. I am feeling away. I was triggered. I need a few days to process it. And so this is what I need right now. And I don't have to explain myself to anybody. So do make sure that you're sending out the right signal, because otherwise you'll end up stuck in limbo, because the universe does not know what you want, because you have not even decided, really, because you're still kind of playing games back and forth, back and forth. That whole fronting energy, like you don't care. Do honor your feelings. Be authentic. Speak your truth. Progress, not perfection. When was the last time you did a less than perfect job and felt okay about it? When was doing good enough? This is that energy I was getting, like, even from family. A lot of times you feel like you have to earn somebody's love. And like I said, love is not a verb. It is a state of being. And start by loving yourself first, enough to set healthy boundaries, to be like, I am enough. I don't need to do anything to please others, because that is the energy I'm getting from this card. This is that disease to please. So I am sensing this. So use your energy for you, because you are juggling too many things right now, and it's causing you a lot of anxiety. And also, when you put other people first, your finances sometimes do suffer. You know, I don't know how many times somebody would be like, you know, I need help with this, and I would help them, and then I would be sitting in the house eating noodles for a week. That wasn't fair to me. And you know what? I did it. I couldn't even blame the other person, because I did it. So that is the energy that I'm getting, is don't put yourself, you know, in financial harm's way trying to help others. We have the lightning card. It says lightning denotes surprise, disagreeable in accordance to distance. So this is that power. Lightning is power. And so I do feel like this is a time for you to step into your power, and this involves taking your power back from others. And how do you do that? Recognize all the ways that you've given your power away. If you are dependent upon somebody to make you feel some kind of way, to provide you your happiness some kind of way, or to validate you, like if other people's opinions of you matter, then you have given your power away to those people. So do take your power back and step into your own power, because there is power in not caring what other people think. That is what is causing you to be a people pleaser. The eye, when near, denotes great interest taken by friends. When distant, it signifies suspicion. Usually I don't read those, but I feel like this goes with that card, and that involves how people see you. That is very important, and it's very important for you to be in the public eye and kind of be flashy with your shit, and look at me, you know, look at how great I am. I want other people to know how great I am. And I was in that energy for a while. I was showing out all the time until I recognized what it was, and now I'm like, I don't care one way or another. I don't. You can think what you want to think of me. I don't care. So that is this energy here. And that is what is blocking you right now from happiness, because you're so dependent upon other people's viewpoints. That matters to you. All right, let me read this postcard oracle. Dear you, there is always more than one side to an argument. Two sides, if not more, to every story, and hundreds of ways to be right. Be different, be at odds, and so on. Today we suggest that instead of looking for differences, you find a meeting place of agreement and approach this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand how another person thinks, or how an alternate plan might be laid. Stay out of judgment too. Stay out of judgment too. Observe, discern, and accept that others have different stories, experiences, and journeys. And some people might refuse to remain open to another's point of view. No matter what you've been presented with, a great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things. Once common ground is reached, you're attracting people and situations that enrich your life and bring you wonderful things to learn. We love you so much. So some of the energy that I got with that card, was what I was talking about earlier about judging people in situations. Everybody's journey is not going to look like yours, so that's what I was talking about with like people who have like perceived mental illnesses. And you might be dealing with people who are like this, who have mental illnesses. I know I was married to a schizophrenic for 20 years, and it was very challenging. And you have to have very strong boundaries. So maybe that's, you know, where this is coming up too, about being a people pleaser. Maybe you're a caregiver for somebody right now and feeling unappreciated, unloved. But understand, like I said, put yourself first of all. Second of all, don't judge the situation. Because like I said, everybody's circumstances are going to look different, and just because it doesn't fit inside the perfect little box that you think it's supposed to fit in, and it's kind of messy and maybe even chaotic at times, it's all being divinely guided. And this is also teaching you a lot about not judging, about not judging people, and finding that common ground. Find your, you know, your similarities instead of your differences. Find some kind of way to meet in the middle. Well, this Taurus, this is your reading, and like I said, if you'd like to have a personal reading, do get a hold of me. I'll put my information in the description of the video. Thank you for watching.